Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be talking about configuring time services. We're just talking about the clock that's running on the machine that you see. For example, here on this box, it says here 7:15 p.m. And then we're going to just go over some of the commands and some of the files that are relative to this, especially when you're changing the time or maybe got to point the server to another box that's giving it the time, something like that. So the first thing, we're going to define NTP, Network Time Protocol. That's the protocol over a network that is used for getting the clock or the time from someone else. So it's like telling the computer who to ask for the time. So, and again, this is when I talk about mention the Network Plus information or Network Plus knowledge, because that is a network service. It's over the wire. And it does have a protocol 1, 2, 3 that you gotta have open for it to operate. Now, your computer that you're even using right now is using NTP. So if you're using a Windows box, a Linux box, a Mac box, it's usually using some NTP server, NTP time to check itself. And then one of the things that we want to look up and make sure we understand are atomic clocks, stratum levels, and checking out the website ntp.org, because there is good information there. And then atomic clocks and stratum levels are stratum levels. That's just something that is related to this, but not necessarily. It's just to help you understand where it's coming from. Okay. So moving on, let's just get into the terminal here. So the first thing we're going to do is systemctl, and we're going to learn about crony. And so crony, some people say crony, I say crony, crony D service like this. So as you can see here, we can see that the crony D service is already started, it's enabled. And we can see here, it even defines it here, NTP client server, because this computer can even act as the server itself to give another computer the time as well. And then so here we can even see the sources, right? So it says here, these are public IP addresses. You can see here that this is the pool of servers that it's currently used in. So even now, if we restart it, we'll see it. We'll see it. You can see it loading up there. We'll just reload it again, and you can see there that it selected another source. Okay, and if we go up here, this one's 149. These are different. You see different IP addresses. Okay, so that's good. And then now the next thing that we got is going to be what file is used to manage the crony service. So that would be the crony conf file .conf. So we can go, it's an etc crony.conf like this, and you can cat it and take a look. So you can see here, well, let's just go into it. That way we can see some more information. So vim and here. So we can see here the pool, right? Use public servers from ntp.org, and then boom, there we go. And there's other different situations that you can set up as well if needed. NTP client access from local network, level, stratum. Okay, awesome. I don't want to get too deep in there right now. So maybe you're wondering what's pool, what's iBurst. So what we can do here, so you can quit there, and then you can man crony.conf like that. And then here it defines a lot of things for you, right? So in that file itself, right, the file configures the crony daemon in that file. And you can see the location, right? You can actually see what kind of keywords, I would say, to specify right? You can add this into that cronny file and specify. So for example, here we have server host name, and then you're probably wondering what was that iBurst at the end there. That's an option, right? And it says CronyD will start with a burst of 48 requests, like that. So these are important because you might have to, make sure that's a little more resilient or something like that. Okay. And then here, oh yeah, you can even define if you just wanted to use IPv4 or IPv6. Yeah, that's cool. So I didn't know that. And that's an option here for that server keyword. Now this is for the pool keyword here, right? And so this is a good example of that pool keyword. So pool, XYZ pool, iBurst, and then you can even choose the max sources there. Okay. You saw how we had like 4 different IP addresses for that RHEL pool. The next thing we want to cover here is going to be working with CronyD, right? So working with it's going to be this command. So it's going to be crony the same, but CronyC, right? And like it says here, crony command line interface for crony daemon. Okay. And a lot of options. I'm not going to go over every single one here. And what we want to do here, we already checked the status the first time. We can restart it. We can enable it, same like any other like systemd related service. Okay. So again, yeah, I'll just go over that one more time. So again, you can go back, CronyD service, and then you can get some information there. And as always, you want to make sure it persists. So make sure that it's enabled. Another thing we can do here. Another thing we can do here is actually show the sources. So crony, I think I just did it right. CronyC, there we go. Control A, delete that. Then we can do sources. Also, you can always double tab and get a lot of different commands as well. So we can see our sources here. There, that's good information because it shows you what's happening with the sources. And again, we can probably do sources, and let's just see sources and sources. Here we go. So this command displays information about the current time sources that CronyD is accessing. See, that's all. There we go. We got our columns, we got information, all the sources are displayed. Different things. So now you're probably wondering, well, if I want to change it. So what we can do is go vim etc crony.conf, and we can do this. Okay, here we go. I did have making a change here. So okay, cool. So we can make a change here. So we can go here and just comment this out, right? And then from the website here, you can just copy this here. So we can do server, right? Single server time google.com, like that. And just to give this just for a quick example. And so right now what we want to do is the status, right? So we can see it says here the source is the RHEL pool. Now what we want to do here is just going to go and restart. Give it a few there to pick that up. And then we can check the status again. And then we can see selected source. And remember, we didn't put an IP address or anything. We just put in time, google.com. Microsoft also has the same thing. Different big, what we call like internet companies have their own time or NTP servers. Okay, and then so, yep, so that's good. So we saw how to change that. And then what else can we do? So the next thing I want to go over is just a few more other commands. For example, we can look at date. So this is related to time. We can mandate like this, print and set the date time. One thing I do want to note is that I've changed the time using this and reboot it, and it does not persist. So you can set the time if you want using this command. I have an example on the webpage, but it doesn't persist or anything like that. And so I mainly use this if I want to like write like a script or something like that. So that's still mainly the way I would use it. So I would do something like I would do like date, and then we can do, I think we can do like a plus, like that, and it'll change the formatting of the way it prints out. And so I will put this into a command like let's see if we can do like a quick script. We can do like vim time, and then we can do .sh like this, and then we can do shebang or shebang, then bash like this, and then we can just do like the time, the date, the date is, and then we can just do like this, and then date like that, and then plus f like this, and then we can just echo like this. I think, yeah, this will work. Let's see. Let's see. So we gotta just plus change mod plus x time sh, and then we should be able to run it now. Oh, did I not do something right? Let's see. Time. Yep. Oh no, that's yeah, that work on Windows boxes sometimes. Cool. And then so that's how I would use it. So yeah, the date is, and then something like that. It works, like I said, it works really great for scripts like that, and just keeping it simple. So simple utility, especially like for example, I have an alias for Git repository updates. So when I do a Git commit and update the repository, I have a alias where it just takes the date just from doing that little output there. It's just a quick example. And then what else? So yeah, moving on to the next command, it's going to be time date CTL like that. And this one gives you a good summary of what's going on the server. So you can see here even that it even tells you NTP is active. And then something that I do want to show you here is time date CTL, and then you can look at the commands here. We can even turn it off this way. So we can say NTP and then it takes a Boolean, so you can just go whoop like that, false. Time date, and you can see it's inactive. And then something that you can check now, which is interesting, is disabled. So it's not on right now, it's inactive now. You see? So that's a good command to know. And then if we just go back and we go true like that, you can see now status that it's back up and running. Okay, so yeah, we can see it pick up a source now, that same Google one that we had. Okay, so that's good. Now maybe we want to change a time zone. So if we look here, oh, and you're probably thinking, well, how do you know it was a Boolean for that that set NTP command? So you just go time date CTL like this, and if you scroll down, you can go to that command set NTP, and then it says bool, so Boolean. So in a program that's just true false. Yep. So let's go back now, and like I said, I always encourage reading the man page, seeing if you can run a command and like understand from the man page, and then if not, you get trouble, just hit up your Geminis, your ChatGPTs, and see what syntax error you're making on that command. So as a last example, I am actually not in the West Coast. I'm actually in the East Coast. So we're gonna fix this now, right? So one thing that I did was time date CTL. Why do I always type it wrong? So I time date CTL like this, and then list time zones, right? Well, that's a lot of output. I'm not really interested in all that output. You can pipe it to less, and that can help. I just gripped it here so that way I can get the it's America, and then New York like this. I'm actually in the East Coast, and then so with this, yeah, I just grabbed it here like this. And then what I did was more like this. And you can do set time America. And then we can go just paste it here like that. And then set time. Oh, what happened? Oh, it's an invalid argument. What did we get wrong? New York. Oh, set time. That's why. Wrong command. Time zone. There we go. So read the errors and just reread your command. Cool. That's good. That's good that we ran into an error there. So now it's the right time now. I recommend here now, reboot, see if it persists. And yeah, that's all I really had for it. I think the last thing to make sure when you're working with this, if you're seeing that it's not working or you can't get something to show up on that on this status here, just check your firewall and make sure that that port is allowed 1 2 3, and yeah, check the configurations and start there, because that's usually what'll probably stop you from getting this to work, especially if you've done the config file correctly and stuff like that. Okay, thank you so much. That's all I have.